Jeez, look at this. Travis Gray not even getting a chance to make any more introductions.
What is this, like the 32nd match in a row today that people have decided, hey, let's jump the guy before the gun? Don't they know that that's supposed to be saved for my guys?
Well, obviously, when you're a guy the size of Markus Riot and you're tackling a guy like Bo Cooper, you definitely want to take every advantage you can, even if that means catching him off guard.
Well, again, and he did catch him. You got to give him credit for that. But, there's only so much effect something like that's going to have on a guy the size of Bo Cooper.
I think there's an old saying by an older manager, another commentator. Oh, there's that big avalanche splash. That's not what he said, though. What he said was, any good big man will beat any great little man. And I don't know if this may come to play in this matchup. I don't know. Markus Riot definitely may have something to say about that.
Well, I have something to say about that. The next time you call Markus Riot great, I quit.
Oh, okay. Well, still, nonetheless, Markus Riot going to put everything he can into this. Great or not great?
Not great.
However you want to describe him.
Look, again, for the 15th time today, I think I'm going to say, I give credit where it's due. I think Markus Riot could have a bright future in this business once he's a little older, once he's had a little more experience. He's able to do smart things like that. That was a smart move. I think he may have even sat there and taken the last couple of punches knowing that Bo was going to come steaming into him so he could try something like that. But you just got to think that Markus Riot is completely outclassed in this match, which is weird given that the other man is Bo Cooper. And, again, Pena, I know that you and I were both given a stern warning, mostly me, in between matches here. Apparently I made a comment earlier that offended several people out there when I said that Bo Cooper was as dumb as a box of rocks. We've had several phone calls in the past half hour from boxes of rocks across the country who were offended by that. And to all the boxes of rocks in America, Canada, Mexico, possibly even boxes of rocks down in Australia, I would like to sincerely apologize for the comparison of you guys and Mr. Cooper.
Do I really have to throw out the disclaimer that the views of our commentators are of our own and not necessarily the views of the NWA and the AWS? I think maybe if I said that, we would have saved you.
Oh, okay. Well, we need to start throwing that at the beginning of the shows then. But, once again, you got two guys in here that I'm not all that fond of. I do think Markus Riot could make something out of himself. Bo Cooper's been doing this about 10 years. He's pretty well sharpened and honed. And
vicious clothesline.
Wow.
By a near 400-pound man.
And if his arm was actually sharp as Markus Riot's head would have been cut straight off there. It was almost knocked off. And these are two guys that, again, I'm not fond of, but they're giving everything they've got. And that's the one thing you can say about pretty much every single match you ever see here in AWS, is that, people don't leave anything in the locker room. They bring it to the ring with them.
That is very true because they need to take it to the ring everywhere they go, every chance they get. They know that the fans here, not only do they support us, but they support them as well. They definitely want to give them a great showing so that way they can come back more often here in AWS.
Well, not just here in AWS, but, now that AWS is affiliated with NWA Pro Wrestling, this is the premier stop on the NWA Pro Wrestling circuit. These DVDs are being seen by people all over the country, all over the world. These matches are being read about, heard about, talked about everywhere. And the opportunity to shine here gives you the opportunity to shine elsewhere. Several of the guys here, we've got Rocky Romero and Tommy Williams coming up shortly. Those guys, they've been over to Japan. They've wrestled in front of, 20, 30,000 people over there. We've got, guys like, to be honest, Aaron Aguilera, who wrestled, WWE pay-per-views in main events.
And
wow.
That was just a vicious squash in the corner, or a face full of stuff, whatever you want to call it. It's something that Markus Riot did not want to get a face full of.
Well, it's also the kind of thing that just cut me off mid-sentence because I almost wound up on the nasty end of one of those once. And I have wound up on the nasty end of one of those once, basically a flying diamond cutter there from Markus Riot, an ace crusher, if you will.
And now it looks like he's going to go for a 450. This is his bread and butter, and if he can connect, he could pull an upset victory over Bo Cooper. And he does.
Well, I'm surprised that Bo had enough left in him
Look at that, he kicked out of the 450.
I'm sorry that I meant that Bo wasn't able to get out of the way of that. I didn't think that Bo was necessarily all that far out. I thought Markus was going for that too early. I'm surprised he hit it, but you know, no matter how much impact you hit Bo Cooper with, when you only weigh that much, it doesn't matter.
There was a Death Valley driver, and that's got to do it, and it does. Bo Cooper picks up a victory here over the young Markus Riot.
Well, you know, I've thought from the beginning of this match that this was one heavy Bo Cooper move away from being over, and you know, again, it doesn't matter that Markus Riot was able to hit that 450 splash, as pretty as it looked. When you're only coming down with 175 pounds onto a guy the size of Bo Cooper, you're not going to pin him. You need to do more things than just one splash, no matter how pretty it is. Because Bo Cooper, all he has to do is drop you once the right way, and it's over.
You also have to admit, when they were taking it out on the floor, Markus Riot almost out-brawling Bo Cooper.
Okay, and that's the second time today that I've had to watch Bo Cooper dance, and no one wound up getting me my Alka-Seltzer, so I think I'm going to go be sick.
Well, you can go be sick, but you got to come back because we got some more great AWS wrestling action. We still have more titles on the line, and I believe one of them is coming